Hello, dear students of Honors Third Year. I am Tahmina Sohan. I hope you are doing well and keeping safe at your home, and you are keeping up your studies as well. Today, I am going to tell about the poem The Caller by George Herbert. Before going to tell the poem, I would like to tell you that this poem, written by Herbert, is a 36-line poem about a speaker's struggle for freedom. It was written by Herbert in 1633 while he struggled with his own religious beliefs. And you know, Herbert is a Puritan poet. The title of the poem is very interesting. One of the most interesting aspects of the poem is its title, mainly because throughout the entire poem we don't find the word caller. The title of the poem, The Caller, is symbolic. It represents the relationship between the man within the poem and God. Collar in this poem refers to a clerical collar which priests wear as a religious symbol. To take off the collar is to revoke one's dedication to the holy orders or the church. Now I would like to tell you the theme of the poem. The main theme concerns with the conflict between submission to God and the desire for personal freedom. The trouble is that the constraints seem here to be from within the poet as he expresses these marvelously. The poem begins after the speaker has already had a crisis of faith. The speaker is fed up by a life he finds constrained, unpleasurable, and in fact sad, but his doubts are eventually overcome by his other half, the second voice in the poem. The critics refer it as the will. Here the speaker's two sides and voices suggest another theme to the poem, the theme of an internal struggle between the heart and the will. The heart, which is the first voice, complains about a barren life, whereas the will knows that patience is required to reap rewards. The poet suggests that the heart and the will must both be a part of religious devotion. In fact, the will must convince the heart to love God, not the world of earthly pleasures, but the kingdom of God. Now, if we go through the poem, we will find the rhyme scheme of the poem. The poem does not conform to one particular rhyme scheme, but jumps from half or slant rhymes to full end rhymes. Herbert chose this pattern or lack of pattern to mimic the chaos of his speaker's own thoughts. Thank you.